Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Montgomery County Public Schools 2021 LGBTQ Pride Town Hall. We're so glad that you've joined us this evening. My name is Greg Edmundson. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm the Director of Student Welfare and Compliance at MCPS. One of our foundational beliefs in MCPS is that all students see themselves in their classrooms, schools, and in the curriculum, and they feel acknowledged, valued, and respected. That is one of the main reasons we are here today, to ensure our LGBTQ community feels exactly this way. Since our last Pride Town Hall, we've developed a new partnership with Trans Maryland, who partner very closely with Smile and MoCo Pride Center to support our school SGA sponsors. Staff continue professional development training. Just this past year, we attended a GLSEN gender spectrum training, the University of Maryland training about LGBTQ health during the pandemic, and a Rainbow Pride conference. We also continue to review our student gender identity guidelines, and we update to current terms and definitions. Our curriculum office has been working very hard, developing a new course called LGBTQ Studies. This course is an interdisciplinary exploration of LGBTQ studies, gender identity, history, and culture. This coming fall of 2021, we will be piloting this elective course in 11 of our high schools. And we continue to provide extensive compliance training for all employees annually regarding the most recent regulations and resources. Last year, as you all know, due to the pandemic, we conducted our first online virtual Pride Town Hall. We engaged hundreds of students, staff, and parents with a panel of experts, tons of resources and supports. Next year, we are planning to have everyone back together again in person for this annual event. However, this year we are obviously, as you see now, still virtual. And based on your feedback from last year's event, we have a different format. We're excited to introduce a new Montgomery County Government Liaison, who will be our keynote speaker for this evening. We are also offering 6 self-selected breakout workshops on different topics led by both MCPS staff and area youth agencies within our community. Mrs. Shella Cherry, Director of Student Leadership and Extracurricular Activities, as well as the MoCo Pride Advisor for MCPS, will give you more details after our keynote speaker. This portion of our program will begin with a video greeting from Dr. Monifa McKnight, MCPS Deputy Superintendent. Dr. McKnight unfortunately was unable to join us live, but has recorded a welcome for us this evening. Now a greeting from Dr. McKnight.
My name is Dr. Monifa McKnight, and I am the Deputy Superintendent of Montgomery County Schools. Tonight, I am extremely honored to welcome you to the 2021 Pride Town Hall. MCPS is deeply committed to our LGBTQ+ community through both our words and actions. Tonight's event will be informative and inspirational. We will hear remarks from Dr. Amena Johnson, the new LGBTQ+ liaison for Montgomery County government. We also will have an opportunity to engage in deeper discussions and topics that are focused in these areas: gender identity, mental health supports, and resources and tips for our staff. Thank you to tonight's organizers who will be a big part of this event, and special thanks to the leads of our 6 dynamic breakout sessions. We are particularly proud of our students who will also facilitate the dialogue in select workshops this evening. May tonight's town hall be both restorative and empowering as we continue our collective work creating spaces for our LGBTQ+ students and community. Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. McKnight. As mentioned earlier, we are very excited about our keynote speaker this evening. Dr. Amena Johnson is the newly appointed LGBTQ liaison for Montgomery County government. Additionally, Dr. Johnson is an associate director of LGBTQ resources at Georgetown University. She's an experienced trainer and student affairs adjunct specializing in diversity and inclusion topics, curriculum development, facilitation, and program management. Welcome to the show tonight, Dr. Amena Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hello, everyone. I am Amena Johnson. My pronouns are she and her. I am here to give you a keynote tonight. And what I want to focus on is identity and how to put your identity into action. I was about to say, you can change the slide. How you put your identity into action. And I think, a lot of people think of identity as a verb. A noun. That's how it's defined in the dictionary. But I actually think of identity as a verb. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that tonight. You can change to the next slide now. So there are two types of identity, and that we all have. There's social identities, race, our gender, our class, sexual orientation, and things like that. Those are things that we don't choose. But then there's also our personal identities, and these are identities that may set us apart from some people, whether we're a sibling, an athlete, a parent, a performer, or things like that. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about identity. I'm talking about our social identities as well as our personal identities. Tonight, I'm going to focus a little bit more on social identity. You can change to the next slide. The other thing that a lot of times we think about when we think about identity, we think it's the self-contained unit. We live in a really individualist society. And so even though as LGBTQ people, our identity brings us together, identity brings Black folks together as well, but people still think about identity as a self-contained unit. And that we have a large control over our identities, right? And actually, most of our identity we can't control. And a lot of our identity is set before we even get here. Things like our race and our gender and those types of things. A lot of times those things are set before we get here. And that's going to shape how we show up into the world and how we come into the world. And the thing that we need to understand is that we have to understand the history and the people and the institutions that we encounter. Those things also shape our identity. And in order to make change in the world, we have to understand those. And so I'm going to take you through a story about me, about myself. You can change the slide to kind of demonstrate this and to talk about what my vision is as the LGBTQ liaison in Montgomery County. The other thing I want to say about my role as liaison is that I'm actually the first LGBTQ liaison in Montgomery County. The county executive really had in mind creating a safe place and an affirming place for LGBTQ people. So bringing an LGBTQ liaison on board was one of his first priorities. And I am centered in the Office of Community Partnerships. And that office is here to build a bridge between county government and the residents of Montgomery County. So that's what I'm here to do. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to go into my vision as LGBTQ liaison. You can go to the next slide. So I was born in Appomattox County, Virginia. It's in Central Virginia. I was born into a working class family. Appomattox is a super rural town in Central Virginia. If you put your finger in the middle of a map of Virginia, you'll find Appomattox. Growing up, we did not have cable, not because we couldn't afford it or we didn't want it. It's because they wouldn't bring the fiber optics out that far. And actually, they still don't bring the fiber optics out that far. There is Wi-Fi, but it's as spotty as the cell phone service is out there. And so that just tells you a little bit about how rural and isolated things could be. And of course, in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, when I was growing up, it was even more isolated than it is now. Next slide. If you think you don't know where Appomattox is, or you've never heard of Appomattox, that's probably not true. If you've taken American history, you have heard of Appomattox. It's where Lee surrendered to Grant. It's where the Civil War ended. I grew up with the Civil War all around me. If that tells you a little bit more about my upbringing and an understanding of the Civil War, and even people who thought it was not over. So Appomattox is fairly conservative. And so this is the stuff that I grew up in, but this is what laid the foundation for me before I even came into this world. Next slide, please. Another piece of my history is this. Now, I'm going to say before I talk about this that I am very, very, very fortunate that I even have this information. Most people who are descendants of enslaved people in this country do not have this information because before the Civil War ended, the only way enslaved people were recognized was by their age, their sex, and maybe even their color. But I happen to have some birth records of my third great grandmother. Her name was Lavinia. Her name is spelled 3 ways on this list, Lavinia and then Vinny. And you'll see her children, Catherine, Henry, and Jane. Another thing you'll see there, though, is the man who owned her, and his name was James Agee. And Lavinia's last name was also Agee. So this is a part of my identity. If it wasn't for Lavinia and her, I wouldn't be here. Next slide, please. So on this next slide, you'll see a write-up about my family. Again, I'm very fortunate. In 1948, Nathaniel Featherston, who was also part of the family, part of people who own my family, wrote about my family. My great-grandmother, Lavinia, as well as her husband, Daniel. And again, I tell you this story because if it were not for these people who were enslaved in this country, I wouldn't be here. And if last summer didn't teach us anything, we know that that's really, really important to the identity of Black folks in this country. What I've learned is actually the occupations of my family during slavery and after slavery. My great-grandmother was the mammy in the household during enslavement and after enslavement. And my great-grandfather was the head hand on the plantation. I actually found out that my family's been in Appomattox since at least 1796. That's 225 years. And at least half of that time was spent enslaved or as sharecroppers. And so that's a really big part of my identity. Next slide, please. Another part of my identity is faith. And I talk about this not to talk about religion or anything like that. I talk about this because faith wasn't just a church for me. It was my community center. It was the social hub. It was education. It was a political hub. You could register to vote. Candidates came to talk about their platforms at the church. As a matter of fact, I would say that my faith and the church that I grew up in, it actually molded me more in secular ways than it did in religious ways. And so it was really important to my foundation. Next slide. So this is little Amena, and this is, the first picture is probably, closest to the way I came into this world. And I told you all of this stuff before because I talked about history and institutions. Those are the things that actually shaped me before I got here. I grew up a little brown girl in a working class family who was queer in a small town and in a religious and conservative town in Virginia. But those are the things that molded and shaped who I am. And they were established way before I got here. I'm going to talk for the next couple of slides about the institutions and people I interacted with after I got here. Next slide, please. So these are Dick and Jane books. A lot of folks in high school now may not even understand what these are, but Dick and Jane books are how I learned how to read. And you might have noticed that Dick and Jane and their little sister Sally don't look much like the little girl in the pictures that you saw on the previous slide. Next slide, please. Dick and Jane books were published between 1930 and 1965. First of all, I was born in the 70s. So I was reading from these books 17 years after they went out of publication. So that should tell you something about my education. But these pictures are from my family in the 50s and the 60s. My family didn't look anything like Dick and Jane at all. My identity was not reinforced very much other than the mentions of Martin Luther King and sometimes Harriet Tubman, maybe. But that's all I got. And there was absolutely, positively no mention of LGBTQ people in my education. But in my family, of course, we would talk about Black people and we would learn about Black people's lives. Not so much learning about LGBTQ folks, but at least I could get some reinforcement of my Black identity and my identity as a cisgender woman in my family. Next slide. But despite all of that, I was able to graduate from high school. And just like my parents did, and my parents are pictured here, I was also able to graduate from college. My parents didn't graduate from college, so that makes me a first-generation college student. And the reason that that's important here is because when I was in high school, I was told by a counselor that maybe I should take some vocational classes because college might be too hard for me. So I decided that I was not only going to graduate from college, I was going to graduate 3 times, and I was going to get my doctorate. So I'm a first-generation college student who's gotten 3 degrees, and folks call me Dr. Johnson today. Next slide, please. And then there's my queer identity. This is a photo of me and my wife on our wedding day. And so there you go. That's the end of the story. I overcame all these obstacles. I'm now the LGBTQ liaison, the end, right? No, not the end. Next slide, please. This is actually where the work begins. I didn't tell you this story so you could, learn about how I overcame. I mean, I did overcome some obstacles, but even though I'm, a Black descendant of slaves who works in one of the wealthiest counties in the nation, who also works at a very prestigious university, who holds a doctorate degree and a master's degree and a bachelor's degree, if I talked about how I overcome, that would be pretty disingenuous, because that would sort of push back the idea that racism and sexism and all of these things, anti-LGBTQ bias lives in this world. And so I told you these things because, next slide, please. Representation matters. Representation matters. Representation matters. Representation matters. And the reason representation matters is because I didn't see myself in the books, the very books that taught me how to read. And I want to make sure people see themselves in me, either because of the way I look or because of other identities that are not so visible. And even if you don't share the identities that are visible, I want you to hear from another experience to understand what that life might be like for somebody that experiences something different. Next slide, please. And we actually can go to the next slide. And so now I'm going to talk about how all of that helps me to frame this work and the work that I do. I realize everyone isn't going to go into an LGBTQ or identity-based profession, but that doesn't matter. Even if you are an accountant, especially if you're a teacher, getting somebody's pronouns right is important. Understanding, the effects of somebody's heritage being enslaved in this country is really, really important. And what we have to do is we have to frame those past ideas, but we also have to create new frames. And we have to do that so we can notice the cracks in the system. Next slide, please. And so the way I do this is through this framework that I have here. Exposing truths. We have to tell the truth about ourselves and about our history. Change isn't going to happen unless we do that. We have to have the courage to be visible in our identities and be out there. For me, it means being out. For me, it means talking about my heritage and being the descendants of enslaved folks. It could mean something else for you. And we also have to plant the seeds for change and hope for the future, because as I said, my identity was shaped long before I got here. Next slide, please. So MCPS is doing it. You're telling the truth. You're getting truths out there and beating down stereotypes of LGBTQ people with the LGBTQ curriculum that you have. And my vision for that is just to support MCPS in any way possible, in anything that you need. It sounds like you're off to a great start, so that's wonderful. Next slide, please. The other way about exposing truths is that the county executive is going to put out proclamations for LGBTQ History Month, which is in October, and next month for Pride Month. This is all about truth telling and exposing the rich histories of LGBTQ people. Next slide. And then I want to inspire a culture of courage. We have a Montgomery County advisory group, which folks are welcome to join. Unfortunately, if you're under the age of 18, you cannot join the group, but the meetings are public and you can come and we're going to listen to you and meet your needs. I promise you that. And I've got something else for students that are under 18. I also want to provide education and training to MCPS, but also those in county government. And that could be traditional workshops, or it could be just, handing out information and resources. Next slide, please. And I want to work from an intersectional lens. And I know people talk about intersectionality all the time. The first thing I want to say is that intersectionality has been a lived reality, but way before we started calling it something. The main thing I want to talk about intersectionality is that what intersectionality is the intersection of marginalized identities of folks, things like me. I'm an LGBTQ person. I'm a woman. I'm a Black person. That's what intersectionality is, and how those identities intersect with power. What intersectionality is not is we all have these identities, whether they're privileged identities or not, and that's how they come together. The reason that is so important is because if we don't focus on the marginalized identities, we'll continue to uplift and elevate privileged identities. And as your LGBTQ liaison, I want to focus on Black trans women, LGBTQ people of color, LGBTQ people with disabilities, and poor and working class LGBTQ folks. Next slide, please. And lastly, I want to build a bridge. I want to build a bridge between Montgomery County government and the LGBTQ community. I want to help LGBTQ people present their needs to county government. I should have put my email and my contact information in this. I totally forgot about that. But please, please, please do reach out to me. I want to advocate for policy and budget changes. And I'm going to be talking to you, Shella, about how we can get feedback from MCPS students. I want to meet with them. I want to find out what they think their needs are. So as you go throughout the day, this town hall tonight, I encourage you to reflect on the people, the history, and the institutions that have shaped you and your identity, and think about how you can use that to create change. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Dr. Johnson, for joining us this evening. Really appreciate you sharing your story, and we're really looking forward to working with you to ensure that our vision and our goals as a school district are aligned with your vision and with the work of the local government. We want to make sure that we have the best possible resources for our students and our families and our entire LGBTQ community. So thank you again for your time tonight. Now I would like to introduce Mrs. Shella Cherry, Director of Student Leadership and Extracurricular Activities. Mrs. Cherry is also the Student MoCo Pride Advisor for Montgomery County Public Schools. Mrs. Cherry has been a tremendous advocate for our LGBTQ community and has been influential in the planning and development of this great event this evening. Mrs. Cherry joins us now to provide an overview of the rest of the evening, including the important logistics that you will need to ensure a great workshop experience. Welcome, Shella Cherry.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for the nice introduction, Mr. Edmundson. Again, my name is Shella Cherry, and I use she, her pronouns. I am the proud advisor for MoCo Pride, and I am the distinct pleasure of serving MCPS as the Student Leadership Director or Director of Student Leadership and Extracurricular Activities. Again, I wish to welcome you to our annual Pride Town Hall evening. Our event has two major goals that I wish to share with you tonight. We are looking to provide a safe and engaging experience and opportunity for our students, our staff, and our community to come together to be able to experience the specific workshops that we have for you this evening. We wish to connect the LGBTQ student and family community to the different resources that are also available to you here in the local Montgomery County area. So during this experience, we ask that you help us meet these goals as you attend and engage in this program for the rest of this evening. Our registered attendees, those who submitted an official RSVP, received the event agenda for this evening in an email today. There are two sessions that follow our kickoff this afternoon or this evening. The two sessions, the first session begins at exactly 6:35. It is a 60-70 minute session opportunity for you to deeply engage in the work and the presentation and the content that's being delivered to you by a variety of different stakeholders within our community. Our workshop presenters tonight are students, our MCPS staff members, whether they be teachers, counselors, and administrators, and some of our local nonprofit organizations that support the LGBTQ community. Within that agenda, not only will you see the workshops that are offered and who is serving to share those with you, but also the meeting links for those very specific experiences. So we welcome you to attend any one of the workshops. We do ask that you think about which one is of your greatest interest and stay tuned to that particular workshop. And then please do know that you will receive this evening a post-event communication from me that shares with you all of the presentations. So mind you, we have 6 this evening. You'll be able to fully attend 2 of them, but you'll still have the access to the presentations from the other 4. And we'll also include Dr. Johnson's communication contact information for her request. So we ask that you take a look at the email that you received. You should see an agenda very similar to this that not only included the links for this evening for the presentation and opening, but also for our workshops that begin very shortly. So at this time, I'd like to share, if you would please, to take these next 10 minutes to review your email, take a look at the workshops and the presenters and the audience to which they are centered. And then please do join those meeting links at about 6:30, 6:35. We will begin right on time so that we can get through the content and give you an opportunity to not only hear the presentations available to you, but also to deeply engage and to be a part of the discussion and the activities that each presenter has planned. I thank you again for joining us, and we wish you a wonderful evening of listening and learning, and we look forward to seeing you at another MCPS event very soon. Take care.